All right. Welcome. We got X Bard in the chat. Welcome. Here's a little welcome for you. Boom, boom, boom. I know it's kind of cheesy, but I had to do that. Welcome, Bard. X Bard in the house. Quick update on the current development. I should have been more specific. Quick update on Guardian Inbox. All right. So So basically, the past couple of live streams, we had a few issues with the extension, right? Predominantly, I was actually trying to get one extension ready so then I could scale to the other platforms. Basically, when you're building an extension, a web browser extension, the most popular, I guess, platform is Chromium. So the Chrome browser and all the derivatives of the Chromium architecture. Therefore, you have things like Brave. You have, of course, Chrome and a bunch of other subset of browsers. So I wanted to get that done first. But of course, there were some issues with the styling, and then things were not working properly. There were, in fact, different issues with the Z index where the buttons weren't working, the tabs were not working. So I ended up crashing the whole thing. Yeah, Brave is very nice. I use Brave is one of my go-to browsers when when I'm not developing. But for testing purposes, I always, of course, run everything through Brave as well. So I ended up like LibreWolf. Yes. There were so many good browsers out there, right? So I wanted to get these in place first, then focus on Firefox, of course, the Firefox ecosystem, and then the most problematic of all, I would basically say for last. I usually tackle these first, but since I didn't want to jump back between Xcode and Xcode and my IDE, which is VS Code, and it's just too much back and forth. So now I managed to get the Chrome working as expected. I managed to get the Firefox extension working as expected. So I'm really excited to show you guys what uh, transpired yesterday. In fact, after I got off the live stream yesterday, I did a little bit of work offline and basically started, well, I would say from scratch, but I had the basic structure there, but I deleted a bunch of code and then started from, a pretty decent way back. And it's looking pretty good. So I want to show you guys what's going on. And let me remind you guys, when you jump into the live stream, do your guy a favor, smash the like button, because that way the algorithm will love us for it. They'll push the stream to more people. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel on road to 500 subscribers. I know I sound like a broken record, but because a lot of us come to the stream and then we don't really yeah, it's not malicious or anything. There's no malintent or anything like that. But it's just you're listening or you're watching and you don't you don't think about it. So do your guy a favor, smash the like button. Thank you very much, much appreciated. So let me just switch right here. I guess I should show you guys. Should I show you Firefox first or Chrome? Chrome or Firefox? Firefox, Chrome, Firefox. All right, let's go with Chrome. There's still a little bit of an issue with Chrome because the styling somehow it's not working as expected, and I'm pretty sure there's either I don't think it's a cache issue because I cleared the cache. I did a bunch of things where remove the extension, reinstall it, refresh, did a bunch of things, and it's still bugging. So I need to find the root cause of all the issue that's being generated and then fix it. But in the meantime, the extension is working as expected. So without any further ado, let me show you guys what we're working with. So Let's switch right here. Where are we? Okay, let me know if you can see this. I know there's a bit of a lag on the stream. Da, 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 da. Prashant, yo, I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Here's a little something for you. There you go. Welcome to the stream, brother. And you know what to do. Smash the like button on your way in. Yes. So, where were we? So let's go to the extensions. All right. So anyway, as you guys remember, so this is the dashboard. So the nerve center of the whole operation, where we'll have the overview, email protection, spam analytics. There's a bunch of things. Even the machine learning tab, where we'll train our own LLM to power the whole thing: block list, threats, activity log, user management, reports, and settings, and so on and so on. Right. So now, without any further ado, let's go to the extension. So this is pretty much the extension, right? So if you can see this, all right, I think I need to turn on my cursor. I think we're already catching the cursor, right? I know there's a bit of a lag. Can you guys see the Guardian inbox extension right here? Okay, I think we're having a bit of a lag because there we go. All right. So cool. So you guys can see this, right? So this is the extension. Right now, of course, I'm in developer mode, so it hasn't been bundled yet where you could just install it like any regular extension. Because if you've used developer mode in Chrome, you'd know. In fact, the browser that I'm using right now is not even vanilla Chrome. This is Opera. Okay, this is an Opera browser, but it's based on the same Chromium architecture, right? Yeah, the lag is super crazy. I think probably on the next live streams, I need to basically tweak the settings a little bit so there's not that much lag. All right, cool. So now you guys can see the Guardian inbox extension, right? So basically, since I'm in developer mode, it's a different way to approach things, because normally you'd be able to go to extensions and then search for an extension, and then you find it in the App Store, you install it. Since it hasn't been deployed, so I got to do it locally. So you got to go into your preferences, settings, or whatever. If you're on Windows, I believe it's preferences, and if you're on Mac, it's settings. And once you toggle on developer mode, all right. Once you toggle on developer mode, when you go onto load unpacked, okay, unpacked extension. Once you load that, it'll show up. In fact, let me just remove it. Hopefully it'll work. I hope it doesn't freaking crash, because that happens a lot. When you try to actually demo something, that's when everything goes wrong. So let's see. So I'm removing the extension. Okay, now it's gone. All right, you guys see that? I got ad blocker and I got Opera wallet. It's a crypto wallet. Okay, you guys see that? Cool. So now what I'm going to do is basically go load unpacked, and it's going to bring up a modal, and I'm going to navigate to my project. Okay, and there's an extensions folder. Within the extension folder, then I select the dist, DIST as short for distribution. So once I select it, and in fact, before I select it, let me show you guys. If I click through, you'll see here. All right, you see here, there are two folders. There's a Chrome folder. There's a Firefox folder. So once I get the design and the functionalities, what I want to appear on the extension, because the extension is just a watered down version of what you see on the main dashboard. It's easy access to spam filter, to input different email accounts, basically block certain things, whitelist and blacklist certain things. So then you'll be able to deploy the Firefox one on the Firefox browser and the Chrome on the Chrome browser. And eventually, what will appear here is the Safari. Okay, Safari is a little bit more problematic. So now let me get back to the dist folder, because it's smart. It'll know that I'm in a Chromium based browser. It'll pull the Chrome. There you go. Once I click, see, I knew it. I freaking knew it. All right, you see what happened here? Basically, I removed it. Now I just caught an error. So that means there's something that's kind of buggy, and there you go. So see, I just had to try it again, and then all of a sudden it works. It's kind of temperamental like that. So once I refresh, and there it is. So you see Guardian Inbox. It says version 1.1, but that's not. Maybe 0.5, 0.7 at the most. So there it is. So here you have the different options. You could either toggle it on or off. Now it's off. Now it's on. You have the details, where it's going to contain information about the description of the version number, the size, ID number, because you need to have a app ID number, and a bunch of different things. Permissions that are all going to be displayed here. What do you need access to? Okay, site access and so on and so forth. And then you have these different things. Allow access to the following sites. You can, again, site settings, pin to toolbar, allowing incognito, and then all that type of stuff. So once I go back here, let me head back. So there you go. So you see these options here, front facing, so you could toggle on or off. So if I take this on, it'll allow me access to the extension in incognito mode. All right. And allow access to search page results. Same thing here. So once we do this, usually what I like to do, this is a shortcut to the extensions. All right. I'm sure you could see. Let me remove the QR code. So here I can click, and now I see my Guardian Inbox extension. I can choose to pin it, so I don't have to always dig for it. So I can pin it to the toolbar, which also I could do from here. All right. So you see, once I toggle it on or off, and it's off, now it's on, and you'll see it appear right in the toolbar. And there we go. So you could either access it and enable it from here or from here. And you hit the pin, and there it is. Great. So far so good. So it's up and running. So basically, once I open it up, see, the styling is not. You'll see the difference between this implementation, this styling in Chrome, and which is, again, it's a Chromium based browser, but I'm using Opera, but I run it on Chrome as well, vanilla Chrome, and it's the same issue. I encountered the same problem. So here you see Guardian Inbox, you see spam blocked. The count will update it for every spam that you block. So this is self-explanatory. I don't really have to spend a lot of time on it. And of course, here you have the three tabs. These tabs were really problematic yesterday, and then that's the reason why I ended up crashing the um, the implementation and started not over from zero, but probably about 25% in because I had a really good basic structure for the extension. So I started from a point where I knew everything was sort of vanilla. Then I took it from there. So here, as you can see, filter. And here you could say you could whitelist certain things if a buddy of yours is sending you email, and it just you're not receiving it, and it systematically lands in the spam folder. Then you can go and say, all right, cool. Let me whitelist. Okay, you could whitelist email or a domain. Okay, you could say this domain let everything through, or just a specific email. So let me show you guys, that's self-explanatory, but let me show you the blacklist, right? Let me see, for instance, 123 at company. Where am I looking? Yeah, company.com, right? So once I do this and I say add, I click the add, then it's there. Now you're blacklisted. If I do report, boom, there you go. Okay. So I have a pop-up that tells me I've just blocked something. Also, the browser, if you allow notifications in your browser, you'll get a chip also that pops up that tells you, okay, spam has been blocked. Thank you, blah blah blah. Because also remember, this particular spam blocker will be crowdsourced. Meaning, if I block an email, everybody else who uses Guardian Inbox will automatically inherit that flag. So crowdsourcing is really strong. It's a very really strong point when it comes to actually create an ecosystem where you are protected not because of your own action, but because of the action of the user base, which is pretty cool. So now this is the filters. All right, these are the filters. Basically, you can report here, you could whitelist and blacklist. Then we have accounts. So the accounts, these will be, of course, we can expand the scope of the two buttons you see here. These are pretty much the go-tos for enterprise, and a lot of users mostly Gmail, but you see a lot of enterprises use Outlook or Microsoft 365 and so on and so forth. So these could be populated here. So once I click on Gmail, right? Because right now it's actually not connected to their API, but this is what you'll see. If I click on Gmail, and there you go. So you'll have a pop-up. Sort of it's standard practice. You've seen this a million times where this pop-up, I don't think you guys could see this modal, but it should pop up if the delay is not super crazy. Give me a second. I'm refreshing here. Okay. So you won't actually see that, but if you hang on a second, let me try something here. If All right, let me bring on the camera. If you're looking at the screen right now, and here, right, you'll see the pop-up. It says access blocked, authorization error. That's because I haven't actually hooked it up to the Google API. So you'll have a pop-up where you'll authorize access to your account. We got Vibecode.org in the house. Welcome to the stream, brother. You know what to do. Smash the like button on your way in, and welcome. Sit back, relax. I'm actually demoing, or just a quick update on the extension. So we're looking at the Google Chrome extension. So here, same thing. If I connect to Outlook, a modal will pop up and it'll look for, there you go. You probably see this on the screen right now, right here. So you'll see, it's going to ask me to enter my email address, and of course, you get authenticated. Now it'll be able to have access to your email so it could filter all that for you. But also remember, it's very important because we're going to be GDPR compliant and all the bodies that basically regulates user privacy. So, in fact, we don't have access to your inbox. We don't have access to your email at all, and we can't read your email. All it does, it analyzes certain key metrics, right? The header, the timestamp, the location, and a bunch of different indicators that the LLM will scan and with a degree of confidence and say this might be spam or this is safe. And of course, we'll plug into different platforms that actually list email lists that are basically out there for purchase. So we're probably going to have to purchase some of these lists as well. So we have um, what's the word I'm looking for? So we have a knowledge base. Okay, this list, these providers, they are spam basically factories. So we blanket block them at will. So that is the point. That is the main focus of this. So we're not actually going to have access to your email ever, which is basically somewhere in between the sender and you, so we can catch whatever. And of course, we catch outgoing as well. If your email server gets spoofed, then we'll be able to catch that as well. So this is, um, there you go. So whitelist, okay, accounts. This is where we'll be able to add even more, let's say Yahoo Mail, Hotmail, if anybody still use that, and Microsoft 365 and all sorts of different things. And of course, here we have settings where we'll be able to toggle on or off, right? Different options. We do have email quarantine. So instead of blanket, everything as spam or delete right away, you could send to quarantine for you to review later. But you create a special folder for that, and automatic deletion. Therefore, self-explanatory. So if you don't want to deal with it, you want to keep your inbox super clean. So this is a good option. So I don't know how it sounds out there, guys. I'm not getting any feedback from you. How does it sound? Is it distorting? Is it crisp? How's the sound? And we need another like, guys. We got 8 views so far. We have 2 likes, which is cool, but we need another like. If you're in the chat, if you're on the live, you're checking it out, drop your brother a like, smash the like button. It'll be much appreciated. So this is it. Settings, accounts, okay, filters. So these are the basically features. We could always add more later, but these are the features that's on hand, so you don't have to go to your dashboard to do any of that. So you could do it literally as you're browsing, as it's there. You'll get all your alerts. Things will pop up. You could toggle things on and off. You could add email addresses or domains to your block list or to your whitelist, and so on and so forth. So that is the crux of it. Cool. So that's pretty much the 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 update on the Chrome extension. So now I'm gonna go show you the Firefox extension. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just go ahead. It's your boy. Let's go. All right, no questions. So we shall continue. So I'm gonna show you guys the Firefox, the Firefox version. And you'll see the difference between the pop-up, right? Remember this monstrosity here. Okay, you see the pop-up. I mean, the buttons, these are the color schemes that I wanted, so that's fine, right? The accent colors, the blue and the sort of like light orange, yellowish orange. That's all good. But once you see the Firefox, because I wanted the card to be a different color. So let me show you guys what the Firefox one looks like. Boom, there it is. All right. Can you guys see that? So that's the Firefox implementation. So I wanted the card, the background color, to be this sort of bluish kind of color, and I think it complements the the dashboard nicely. So I kind of wanted that for Chrome. So I got to figure out why Chrome is overriding the styling. It might not. It might be interpreting the CSS rendering in a whole different way, and something might be overriding the color of the background. So this is what it looks like. Okay, it's the same features. So whether you're using it on Firefox or Chrome, and um, eventually Safari, this is sort of like the look that I want to see. This is the look that I like, and with the sort of like blue card that complements the web dashboard. So this is pretty much what you'll see. It's the same features, except now it's on Firefox. We got settings, email quarantine, right? Auto deletion, boom. Accounts, same thing. We could connect to Gmail or connect to Outlook or Microsoft 365 or Yahoo or Hotmail, if anybody still use that. And of course, there are the filters: whitelist, blacklist. Let me do a whitelist. 123 at company.com. Once I hit the plus sign, add it to the list, and there it is. And it's right there. Okay. So we are good, guys. So it's pretty good progress. And I believe I had a question earlier from Nate. If this is if actually this is a mono repo where the extension connects to the same database as the web dashboard. Absolutely it is, because you want to basically you want to maintain one code base for both, because what you see in the extension is definitely is absolutely connected to the same logic. So what you see here in terms of the filters, it's the same thing on the dashboard. What you see on the block list or the blacklist and the whitelist, it's the same thing. Settings, it's the same thing. Where we just pulled the essence of the platform into a web extension, a browser extension format. So you have easy access to toggle certain things on and off to report. Mostly, this is where the crowd sourcing comes into play, to report spam, to do different things that you can do on the fly, where you don't have to actually go to the dashboard to do these things. You could just access the extension from any page. It's just it's in the bar. You just click on it, you open it up, you flag something, and you keep it moving. So you don't have to dig into the different tabs on the back end. So this is pretty much it, guys. So you see the Guardian inbox, Firefox extension, and Chrome extension. So we are cooking with grease, guys. So once again, questions. If you have any questions, I'm here. And by the way, the Discord server is up. So if you want to jump in and talk to me, come on in and talk to me. Let's have a little conversation. In the meantime, sit back and relax. This is an update on the Guardian Inbox web browser extension. And we are good. Well, 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 well. All right, guys. So, quick recap. If you're just joining the stream, I'm doing a quick update on the Guardian inbox extensions. We've got Firefox extension, and in fact, I spent less time on the Firefox extension than I did on the Chrome extensions. Mind you, it's really not that complicated because I spent the time that it took on the Chromium side of things. So I know if I got that to work, it's going to be a lot easier to replicate that for Firefox, and which is what ended up happening. So now Firefox actually looks better than the Chrome version, and it's kind of puzzling, but it's a good thing. But as usual, Safari is going to be the last one I tackle because for Safari, I'm going to have to run Xcode and jump through a lot of hoops to basically make sure it works properly. Because Apple is Apple. They don't like doing things the easy way. They got to make you jump through so many different hoops just to execute a simple command, just to create a simple extension and test it locally. Right. So they have to basically do the Apple thing. They're Apple. So what are you going to do about it? I love the infrastructure. The my Mac Mini is a beast, so it allows me to do so much with so little, and it's a tiny little package. And of course, my trusty MacBook Pro, which which is pretty good in the ecosystem. I've had it for a long time. It's a really old model. It's got an Intel processor, but I used it for because for my production stuff. So video editing, audio editing, sound design, and stuff like that. And one of the main reasons is because it's one of the last um, models that came with an SD card slot and USB A ports. So I really like that, and the MagSafe power connector. So I held on to it for a long time, and it's still a beast of a machine. Of course, the fan just adds something fierce. When you start doing a couple of things and the fans kick in, you would swear you're on a Boeing freaking 747 or a 777 just about to take off. So, all that to say, it's still a great machine. When I bought it, it was super high tech. It was probably the best you could get at the time. I maxed it out at 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 SSD, and Retina display. It was the ish. It was a shit. But then, now it's a little old, but I still use it. I still use it for certain things. Now I actually use it as a side where, that's where my chats. I don't know if you guys could see where it's at. It's sitting right here. So that's the MacBook Pro, and my Mac Mini is right there under the second monitor, and the monitor in the middle, actually between the left monitor and the monitor in the middle. And yeah, I guess at some point I'll just do a proper studio tour, show you guys what's going on, what's on the desk, what I use on the daily, and all that good stuff. So, I got a question from Xbard. What prompted you to do all this in the first place? What prompted me to do this in the first place? Good question, Xbard. In the grand scheme of things, I wanted uh, to code in public, to vibe code in public, to sort of normalize it. But also, if you notice, I hope that's the right question. I'm answering the right question here. Um, if you, perhaps you were talking about what prompted me to do the extension or this particular project, and I can answer both. So you can clarify if it's about the project or if it's about me doing vibe coding in public. But I'll start with vibe coding in public, nevertheless. I started doing this because last year I wanted to I wanted to get involved in a way that could normalize what's about to happen when it comes to creating product, software products, and all sorts of different things, right? And I wanted to normalize it in the sense that I gave myself a challenge. And it was quite challenging in the beginning because the tools that were available were not as sophisticated as they are today. They were at their infancy. For instance, I started using Google Colab to do certain things, and transition to NFTs and all sorts of different things. Image generation, which was really crappy, really rudimentary. A lot of morphing, a lot of disfigured, because LLMs or AIs, they have a tough time creating hands, human hands, and also with text within image generation. They were all jumbled up. So did that, and fast forward to last year, around I would say September, and then I started kind of cogitating and then think about it, and probably around October, November, and then I pulled the trigger. And I had set a goal to build a startup, right? But the startup won't be centered around one particular product. The crux of it is I wanted to vibe code 20 projects, okay, in 6 months. That means from um, November, December, January, February, March, April, right? Actually, no, December, January, February, March, April, May, 6 months. So I say, when I say we, I mean me. I ended up actually coding over 25 projects during that time. So as of last month, right, the end of last month, that was the deadline. I ended up coding more than 25 projects. But I have 20 projects which I deem uh, basically viable. So I build these MVPs to prove a point that it can be done. But I did not want to sugarcoat anything. I did not want to over polish anything. That's why for the majority of the first live streams, you didn't see any camera, you didn't hear me talk, you didn't see anything because I wanted to focus on the coding aspect of things. I wanted to focus on the tools. I wanted to basically let it flow the way it flows in regular life. I didn't want to give you snippets, a watered down version, an edited version of a session. So, I would go for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. I think my longest was probably about 14 hours, right? And to show you the frustrations where I would start certain projects and then spend 5 hours developing the projects. And this is before Augment and Zencode and all these wonderful tools with large context base. So I ended up uh, basically having to scrap a lot of project and start from scratch because things were not being things were not going the way that I hoped that I wanted them to go. So I ended up restarting a lot of projects. Therefore, I show you from beginning to end. And sometimes I would literally end the live stream with an explosion and then with the screen says, you cannot access this. This page cannot be accessed. And if you've vibe coded, you know the challenges that you face as a vibe coder, and especially if the AI assistant goes on a rampage, breaking things that it has no business breaking, right? So you ended up having to go back, fix things, and then catch up to your current development state. So all that to say, things took a turn at some point where the tools, instead of getting better, then they start getting increasingly worse. And then you realize, oh, it's the context, right? With a smaller context base, some of these AI coding assistants, they even forget what they just did one operation earlier. Therefore, you end up in a situation where, again, you're just putting out fires here and there, and you end up spending a lot of time just fixing broken code that the AI assistant goes and basically break that and had no business breaking in the process. So I ended up doing that challenge, and the deadline was May 31st, and then I exceeded the limit. So I ended up coding 20 plus projects, but I've chosen 20 MVPs that are deemed viable. These, some of these concepts have been vetted. They already exist out there, but I either just make them better, maybe about 10%, just give them a little bit of a oomph, right? To bring them into the AI age. And this is where we are. So this is what prompted me to start this. I wanted to share, to normalize the fact that we can create product, software products, as a solo dev, as an indie dev, as a solopreneur, as a solo founder. You can do so much, things that were literally impossible to do a couple of years ago. So that was the main point for me to get in and to start. That's what prompted me to do all this in the first place, XBard. And for this project that I'm actually working on right now, this started a couple of years ago. This wasn't part of the original 20 or the original 25 project. This started 3 days ago, and I ended up spinning this project within actually 42 hours. The main structure was done, and then of course it took me a couple of days to finish the browser extensions. And I mean, I'm not even done yet because I still have to do Safari, and I have to fix this issue with Chrome, the Chrome extension. The styling is somehow being overridden, perhaps by the browser, perhaps by something else. So I got to fix that. And what prompted me to do this particular project, Guardian Inbox, it was a brainstorming session from actually a member in the Discord server. So he shared a document with me about the idea, and I said, "Well, maybe I could put an MVP together." And the next morning, I sent him a. I mean, first of all, he sent me a brief of the project. It was 43 pages. So that was after a live stream. We ended up talking to each other. He was on the live with me on Discord. We ended up 3 hours. We did 3 hours just talking and spitballing this stuff. Then when he sent me the document, and right after the live stream, I took some time. I read the document, and I basically went to Perplexity, ChatGPT, and I believe I used Manus AI and another tool. What was it? Was it Gemini or can't remember? So then I basically created an MVP, a roadmap document, and then the next day I came here on the live and I put it together within 42 minutes, put the whole structure together, which is why it's important to lay out the foundation of your project and to have a roadmap, to have a system, right? To be able to spin things really fast and then iterate and polish things up. But all that to say, this is why I'm doing this. I want to share the journey with you guys who aspire to be vibe coders, who aspire to be entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, or vibe coders, to get things out there, build software, share your knowledge. And once again, the Discord server is wide open. If you want to share your ideas, just come on, talk to me, share with your fellow vibe coders. The uh, Basically, the community is growing. I think we're just shy of 90 members in the community. So if you haven't done so, just jump on the Discord server. Here's the QR code. Scan the QR code. Get in there. Share your knowledge. Help the guys who are behind you. Help the guy, and then get some knowledge from the guys who know a little bit more than you. So it's about community building and building, good SaaS, good software. Leverage the power of AI and do all that. All right, we got a couple of questions. So we got, I don't want to butcher your name. I'm going to call you APV. Is it Abhinav? PV. In which this made? I'm assuming you mean which software or which platform that I use to make this particular app. I'm actually using VS Code. With the project was started in Augment Code, then I switched to a few different AI coding assistants mainly Klein, Zencoder, Augment, and RuCode. And what else? I think at some point I also try to run the project through Cursor. Yeah, Cursor was another one, and Unlook. So that's pretty much what it is. And the stack is basically Next.js, TypeScript, and the backend I'm running Postgres SQL with local Superbase that I run locally in Docker, which I'm probably going to push things to once everything's done and ready. I'll push to Superbase to the live server. But in the meantime, the backend is basically I'm running local development. And CJ in the house and Xbard. Before I go to CJ, so solo entrepreneur is the goal and the vehicle. Then yes, absolutely, it is Xbard. Solopreneur, mind you, I don't relish the thought of being a solopreneur for the foreseeable future. What I plan to do is work with a couple of co-founders, that complement my skill set because I don't want to burn out either. So I want to be able to create because right now we have a really good structure, a really good base. That's 20 plus projects that we can pick and choose what we do with them. Whether we launch them, we bootstrap and launch them ourselves, or some of them we sell because I already have some interest to sell some of these products because there are 20 of them. You realize how many products are these? It would have been impossible for any solopreneur to do this a couple of years ago. You would have needed multiple teams to code 20 products. That's just crazy. So yeah, so the burn is definitely real, and I don't want to do that. Mind you, for the past 6, 7 months, I've been basically burning the midnight oil, so to speak. Putting in long hours, but I know it's only temporary. That was the challenge. I know it's not going to be something that I'm going to be doing on an ongoing basis. It's going to be something that I had to do to get to where we are now, and then the next phase now is actually building the team, getting a marketer together, getting a back end specialist, security, getting all these things together so we can form. It's going to be a small team, mind you, because I don't want to move, basically fat. I want to move lean. Therefore, put a small team together, competent small team together, where we can bang out these projects and hey, make some money. You know what I mean? That's the name of the game. CJ, what's going on, brother? Let me give CJ his props. There you go, CJ. Boom, boom, boom. Don DeMarco, baby. So welcome to the stream, CJ. Yes, Xbar, the burn is real. I acknowledge that already. So CJ says, can you guide me if I know Next.js plus know how to integrate with AI, then how to build products that the market needs as a SaaS? Good question, CJ. The main thing is you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Okay, what I mean by that is you have to look out there, see what's working already. See what I'm not saying you go and copy verbatim anybody else's project and then you slap your name on it. That's not what I mean. That's plagiarism, and it's still being done. But at the same time, if you're going to clone a project and make it better, put your own spin on it. Make it 10% better. Make it 5% better. Right. And therefore, you're already tapping into a market that already exists, so you can literally, for instance, I'm sure you've heard of Cal AI. This kid, I think he's 18, and he had the idea to basically use machine learning to use AI. The app is very simple. You use your camera, you scan a food item, and it'll be able to tell you how many calories the food contained, and then that type of stuff. I have a similar product that I did because since he's already there and there are a lot of clones already dropping on the market, I don't really want to jump on that bandwagon. But what I did is I took the crux of the idea and I have a solution for diabetics, right? People who suffer with diabetes. where you can scan your food and it'll measure the glycemic index, and it'll tell you this food, since you're diabetic, the glycemic index is too high. It is not good for you. So it gives you a thumbs down. If it's good for you, thumbs up, right? And then if it's thumbs down, it'll suggest alternatives, right? If you're diabetic and you want to eat a banana and you say, maybe that might not be the best choice for you because the glycemic index is too high, the sugar content is too high, have a kiwi instead, or have let's say a citrus fruit, orange or something that glycemic index is way lower. If you want to have bread, it might tell you, no, instead of having bread, why don't you just have a piece of cassava, or something more organic, rather than having something hyper processed. So that's a way to approach it. So a way to build a SaaS to uh, basically that the market wants. Next.js is just part of the stack. If it's what you master, use that, but it's not necessarily what you have to use. If it's part of your stack, yes, use it to build products. But at the same time, you gotta have you gotta put the demand and the solution first, because you got to solve real problems with the real solutions in the real world. And nobody cares whether you use Next.js or Python or React Native or Laravel or any other platform, any other not platform, what's the word I'm looking for, any other infrastructure. So I hope that answers your question, CJ. uh, Open issues as your repo so that we can contribute also. Right. Definitely. And if you go to the repo right now, there are already, I believe there are three projects um in the repo. So you can already contribute to those. So a lot of these other projects that are not public yet, those will be trickled out. Okay, they'll be trickled out systematically, but I want to do these step by step. So some of them won't be released to the public because there's interest uh, from buyers who might want to keep them private. So then I don't want to release them before I'm certain that, okay, these are under my umbrella, under Ndio acquisition umbrella. Then I'm able to release them because everything will be open source. That's how by leveraging the power of crowdsourcing, right? Contributions, then that's where you have basically breakthroughs, a lot of breakthroughs. Because I may not see certain things where somebody might contribute, create a new branch, and then, oh, brilliant, new feature, and then it's amazing. It's better than anything I could have imagined. You know what I mean? Right. So Xbard says, I stuck to Python until it was time to let AI guide me to a wider language. It comes in time. Exactly. And CJ, just pay attention to what Xbard just said. Yeah, don't I guess don't jump from bandwagon to bandwagon. You know what I mean? Like Xbard said, he stuck to Python until it was time to move on to something better, or not necessarily better, to move on to something else that's appropriate to the task at hand. Okay, these are just tools. These are just ways to allow you to do things, but don't rely on them as the foundation of you know your whole ecosystem. um and CJ says, when are you revealing your face? Yes. Good question, CJ. I got a nice surprise coming for you guys. Basically, I'm putting the real a real freaking extravaganza together, where I'm gonna recap the whole journey. Okay, so there's gonna be slides, and you're gonna see a bit of a snippet of the journey, all the coding sessions and that type of stuff, all my frustrations, all me screaming at the AI, me just crashing things and doing that. So it takes a bit of time to put all that together because I don't have a team. So right now it's just me, right? But I'm an editor as well. I'm a video editor. You know, um, I'm a producer as well. So I did a lot of advertising when it comes to TV and social media and stuff like that. So I need to put something together nice for you guys. So this is when the reveal shall happen, CJ, my good friend. Cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, guys. So this is the quick update for Guardian Inbox. I believe it has a lot of potential because of the simplicity of it and the crowdsourcing of it. The crowdsourcing aspect of it gives it a leg up. I mean, there are other solutions out there that kind of do something similar, but mine is it's kind of a there's a bit of gamification of it as well, where where you participate actively and creating a network of spam blocker. When you receive spam, you block it. Everybody who uses Guardian Inbox inherits that flag, and of course we have humans in the loop as well to review certain things, and we have some safeguards in place as well because we don't want to blanket flag people. If it's just one person who flagged an email as being spam, we don't automatically assume it's spam. The AI will be smart enough to monitor and say, okay, this is one red flag, so we're not going to blanket ban this. It might be, somebody who holds a grudge against you and then they block you in the system. Therefore, we're not going to penalize you because of a grudge with one person. So then we monitor the situation, or the AI will monitor the situation where you'll be able to assess, well, okay, now 5 people have flagged this email as spam, 10 people, 100 people, 100 people. Of course, we'll set up a threshold that makes sense so we don't blanket flag you as spam, where if it's just 1 or 2 people who flag you as spam, they might be in cahoots with each other to mess with you. So that's another safeguard that we're putting in place. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. So, Premiere Pro, yes. Photoshop. Premiere Pro is super buggy in my opinion. I stopped using Premiere Pro years ago when I discovered DaVinci Resolve, and a lot of people were not really sold on DaVinci Resolve, and I kind of wanted um to find something that would be a little bit more modern. The code base was modern, and it was really spry, really limber. It wasn't all clunky. And I mean, if you've used Premiere Pro for any length of time, I'm sure you've been frustrated with that what do you call it? Medium not available. Clip not available. All of a sudden, media offline. It's so freaking annoying. So a lot of crashes, and the more they advanced, the more features they put on, and it started just being a little bit more buggy. And when I discovered DaVinci Resolve, and I just switched to DaVinci, because DaVinci Resolve used to be predominantly for color grading. So all blockbuster movies, anything you might have seen in Hollywood coming, the past 15, 20 years, maybe not 20 years, maybe 15 years, they were all color graded with DaVinci Resolve. Then once they acquire um, Fusion. Fusion is the equivalent of Adobe After Effects, where it's fully integrated, and they also acquired, if I'm not mistaken, they acquired a sound, not Neve, but another sound company. What was it called? So anyway, so they acquire. So now you have sound design, audio library management, basically After Effects equivalent, all within the same package. So you don't have to do round trip. And it was basically a lifesaver when you're doing compositing. Whether it's titles or lower thirds, even animations. It's so much better. So check out DaVinci Resolve. They do have a free version. It's fully free. It's not a trial where it expires after some time. Some of the advanced plugins, you can't use them, or you can, but there'll be a watermark over your video. So you can use them to test, but you can't use them for production. So check it out. DaVinci Resolve, really, really good tool. I think they're on version 20 right now. So you can just go to the website, download the free version, and then mess around with it. But the studio version is dope. Super, super crisp. Love it. Yes. So, ladies and gents, we are here chopping it up with CJ and Xbard. So, any more questions? I am here. Let me hydrate myself. I'm getting a little parched. I'm gonna mute the mic for a second, but I'm here, guys. So, any questions? And by the way, I keep reiterating this, guys. If you come into the stream, just do your guy a favor, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. On road to 500 subscribers, and we want to push the stream to as many people as possible. So, much appreciated. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yo. So, once again, the Discord, the chat channel is wide open. So, if you want to come and talk to me, the voice channel is up. So, if you want to come and talk to your guy, come on down. Let's have a conversation. Talk about AI, talk about this project, talk about vibe coding in general. Let's chop it up. We are live. We are in the cut. Let's go. 37 views so far, guys. Phenomenal. 4 likes. I'd love to see the like to view ratio be a little higher, but hey, it is what it is. If you guys are coming into the stream, you know what to do. Smash the like button and help your guy. So, as you can see, the whitelist and blacklist fully functional. So you can populate this. I got to find a way to actually, if you start adding, um, if you start adding emails or domains to the white and blacklist, just to keep it compact, so that the added email addresses or domain, the list don't get too unruly. Whether it has a, I don't know. I'm just debating what to do with it. Whether to have a drop down menu where everything is kind of concealed, or keep keep the latest 2 or 3 items added to the list, and the rest send them to the dashboard. So if you want to see the full list of the full numbers or domain added to the blacklist, then go to the main dashboard to inspect to see, or to review or whatnot. So that's one option that I'm looking at, because if you add a lot of items to the white and blacklist, things might get a little too crowded, a little out of control. So I got to find a way to limit. I guess that's pretty easy to do, actually. That's pretty easy to do, just to limit the amount, the number of items that's going to be shown. Kind of like when you go to your operating system, you go file and you go recent items. And then a lot of the times it's like, show the latest 10 items or the most recent 10 items, that type of stuff. So I guess I'm going to have to implement something like that here. And since it's a pop up, I don't want to have 10 items for the whitelist and then 10 items for the blacklist. Possibly what I might want to implement is keep the latest whitelist and blacklist item there just to keep it as compact as possible. Then if you want to inspect the full list, then that's when you go to the dashboard, either on your uh, mobile phone or the web dashboard. So I think that's going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty easy to do, just to limit the number of items there. Just limit it to one, just the latest um, edition. Cool. Yeah. So I really like the way the Firefox extension came out. Now I need to fix the styling. I got to find out why, because it's essentially the same code base, but somehow I think there's something that overriding the CSS on the Chromium browsers, where Firefox is just fine. The color scheme, the background of the card, the rounded corners, just the way that I had envisioned it, just the way that I had designed it. And it's just the color scheme, you know what I mean? The report spam button, really nice. The tab situation, because otherwise it was going to be too tall. So the first iteration was it didn't have the tab, the filters, accounts, and settings. It was just one long um, a modal, a pop up rather. So then I decided to go with the tabs layout, which is way more compact. So I'm really pleased with that. So color scheme, layout, functionality, all on point. Now I just need to fix the Chromium implementation. Chromium, and then I need to attack Safari on the Safari browser. So that's pretty much where we are, guys. Once again, it's your boy, Indio AI, Vibe Coding Live, building in public. And by the way, guys, X is up. So we're on Twitter. So hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on. There's not much on TikTok yet, so there's not much to see there. But I'll be posting soon. All right. Yes, sir. So we are recapping. Quick update. I'm probably going to be here another half hour or so. We're going to keep it short today. I guess, yeah, 2 hours is kind of short for me. So we are about to just do another recap of what's going on, right? So, coding in public, vibe coding, it's the new wave. If you're not hip to it, it's time to catch up. Time to get involved and build in public and share your knowledge and build. Yes, right. So that's definitely something that you can't take for granted. The possibilities are endless these days. The possibilities are really, if you're not building, it's just because you don't have the desire to do so. And I encourage everybody to just to go in and start building. It is phenomenal. It's a great feeling when you take an idea from your head and then you put it to pixels, right? And then it's just ones and zeros, baby. Let's go. Let's build. Let's build. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, don't forget, partner, you coming into the stream, just drop your guy a like. It is much appreciated. We keep the stream alive. We push the stream to as many people as possible. So you know what to do. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. And also, I'd like to remind you guys, I got a huge reveal coming up soon. Actually, two reveals. Okay, well, we're going to be moving to front-facing camera, where you're going to get all the sauce. You're going to get an overview of my coding journey or my vibe coding building in public journey that started last year in November. And yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. So you're going to get the recap of that. Also, there's going to be another announcement, huge announcement when it comes to the community. What's in store, what we have, and myself and I can't really say too much about it right at this particular point in time, but in due time, there will be an announcement where We have amazing things coming for the community where we're really excited to bring to you guys. So stay tuned for that. And all the more reason to follow us on Twitter. Okay, subscribe to the channel here and get involved in the Discord server because right now we are, in fact, how many? What's our head count right now? Let me check real quick. What's our head count for our server? Discord server. Discord can be a freaking minefield when you're trying to find information. It's just, ugh. You got to dig through a lot of freaking menus just to find a simple piece of information. Okay, where are we? Oh, I know. Okay, I'm in the wrong freaking page. All right, let's go. All right, here we go. Jeez, finally found it. So we're 90 members strong. Okay, just 90. So we got 90 members. So I'm assuming by the end of the month we should be about 100. Okay, 100 members in the Discord server. So which is pretty cool. And of course, we need more engagement on the server. We need more participation. We need more. This is what we're trying to bring to you guys to participate, to share our knowledge, to build together, and create wealth. So yeah, definitely. So join the Discord server, guys. All right, boys, taking a quick break. If you have any questions, just drop them in the Discord or right here in the chat. I'll be right back. Alrighty. So last recap, guys. I'm only going to be here for another, I guess, 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so. It's 1:48, hour and 48 minutes on the live. Probably going to knock off at the 2 hour mark. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer your questions. Quick recap, all right? Guardian Inbox is basically a an inbox spam manager slash filter. And the main feature, the killer feature of this particular implementation is it's a crowdsourcing aspect of it. If you and I use Guardian Inbox and I receive an email and I flag it as spam, you automatically inherit my flag. Okay. So it makes it really powerful. That way, if somebody's blanket sending a bunch of spam email, as long as you're on our network, which is Guardian Inbox, you don't have to manually go into your inbox and flag. It won't even show up in your inbox. And the key feature is that you will have a quality of life that you don't have to spend hours, sometimes days. You do them in batch trying to clean your spam folder or your inbox, because some of them will slip through the crack, right? So that's pretty much what's this worth potentially. Good question, Xbard. What I'm thinking, there are two ways I'm going to approach it. There is a B2C, right, and there's a B2B. And for the B2B, there are two tiers. There's the SaaS aspect of it, meaning we host it, you hook up to it, you get a subscription, right? You get the back end, you get the mobile app, and you get the extension. So we manage everything for you. That means you don't have to train your staff or your admin team, your tech team to run it. You don't have to pay for servers. You don't have to pay for patch updates, and we manage everything for you. That's one option. Price point, I'm not quite sure yet. So I've got to talk to my marketing guru and see what's the best price point to introduce it. We don't want to value it. We don't want to overestimate as well either. So that's pretty much where we at. I think we have activity in the room. I think Gabriel is in the room.
Yes, we
Gabriel,
do.
give me 1 second. Let me finish this question, and I'll jump to you. Sit tight for a second. Thank you for joining us, Gabriel. And then the second option, XBARD, the second option is basically a turnkey solution where you purchase the solution outright. Well, you don't purchase it, but you get a license. That means now you get to host it on your own servers. We train your people, your tech team to run it. And of course, now you'll get, there'll be a support system where you'll be able to basically raise tickets with us. If you have any issues, that will be there to assist as well. So these are the two tiers. And of course, now B2C, any civilian can actually, yeah, you could purchase a subscription. For that, you'll get a watered down dashboard that only contains something that's relevant to you as an end user, and you get the dashboard and you get the extension, of course. Then you'll be able to have access to the latest and greatest. So price point also unknown. So I have to basically do a bit more research, and I'll keep you posted. So I hope that answers your question, X Bard. Thank you very much for the questions. Thank you for the participation. And right now, Gabriel, welcome, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Just finished some meetings that I had today,
Nice. Do you want
and
to be
I
on? Do you
was
want to be on the
available.
stream, or I can mute the stream right now if we're going to discuss other things?
Yeah, sure. So we're going to negotiate.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it makes sense to mute
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah. Give me a second. All right, boys and girls, hang tight. I'm just gonna mute the stream for a second. Mute the stream for a second. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, guys. So sit back, relax. I'm gonna play some tunes for you guys. So enjoy the tune. By the way, before I put on the tune, guys, all this is basically AI generated. These are all my music AI generated. So enjoy. I'll be right back. Okay. If you guys have any questions, all right. So just drop them in the comment section, and remember the Discord server. Okay, it's right there. We had 90 members now. Okay, we're 90 strong. So let's go. Get in there, participate, and talk to one another. And in fact, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm not going to put you guys on hold. I'm not going to put you guys on hold. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to end the stream right now because the plan was to click off at 2 hours within the stream. I was going to do a short one today for the recap, but I think we're good. I've answered some of the pertinent questions. So I'm going to click off right now. Okay, I'm going to sign off. I need to have a discussion with my good friend Gabriel, and I might jump on later for another. Most likely, I'll be on later for another recap. Okay, for more updates on the extension. I'm not going to touch Safari just yet, but now we got Firefox running and we have the Chromium version running. Although Chromium styling got a bit of an issue with the CSS, but I'll figure it out and I'll keep you guys updated. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Xbard, CJ, who else? We had Vibecode.org. Who else did we have on the stream? We also had, I think that's about it. Yeah. Oh, Prashant. That's it. So thank you guys. So once again, uh, subscribe to the channel. TikTok is up. X, Twitter is up. So follow up, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Yeah, yeah.